It's me, Zenobia Darling. You're listening to hashtag Rockstar Life, the Coffee Break podcast. Let's go. Where the hell's my cold brew at?
Ooh, what's up, guys? It's me, Zenobia Darling. Happy snow day. Happy Monday. It is January 6th, 2025. In Maryland, it is snowing. There's snow on the ground. It's a winter wonderland. And I got off work, so I've been having a lovely snow day. So what am I doing? I am smoking weed like a fucking choo-choo, and I've been watching And Just Like That. So I figured since I'm a little high and I need to make fun of people and get that comedy itch scratched in me, I figured I would do an espresso shot for the snow day. Why not? I have the time. I want to do it, so let's do it. So this snow day, I love snow day. I'm not a cold weather person. I'm also not a snow person. I prefer, 80-degree weather and not a cloud in the sky, full sun. But, every so often, once a year, I don't mind a good snow day. So, it's just, I went back to work on Friday, and it was my first day back since the holidays. And I just was like, whew, I still need a vacation. So I'm really enjoying the snow day. I'm really enjoying not doing shit today. And but I figured I love podcasting. I love stand-up comedy, so let's just go into it, especially because I've been watching Che Diaz do stand-up comedy, and I'm like, you know what? I can do better than them. So here I am, guys. So let's get into this. Let's just get into it, because I took notes on And Just Like That, and it's almost so bad it's good. But then at the same time, it's like, what the fuck am I watching? And just to give you some backstory, I'm a diehard Sex and the City person. So growing up, my mom had a TV in her bedroom, and this is dating myself, but she had one of those black boxes. It was this illegal thing to hijack the cable company and not pay for it. So we had HBO, and my mom and my sister would always watch Sex and the City. Well, I would sneak it. I was literally in I would say 4th and 5th grade watching Sex and the City back in the day. I fucking loved it. I'm a Samantha. Samantha is by far probably one of my favorite characters in all of fictional TV. I fucking love Samantha. I love Kim Cattrall. So already going into And Just Like That, without Kim Cattrall there, I'm just sad. There's a hole in my heart that only Samantha's big dick can fill. And it's I don't know. So already going into it, I'm kind of can they just make amends? Can they just pay Kim Cattrall $10 million just to, and not shoot with anyone, just to have Samantha at least once a scene, or give her own show in London? I miss Samantha. The texting and that little cameo in season 2 is just not doing it. I need Samantha. I want to see what Samantha's doing right now. I love that woman. I want to see who she's fucking. I want to see what she's wearing. I want to see what she's doing. I love Samantha. So already I'm kind of here we go. But let's just get into it. Let's just get into this. So, as I said back in the day, I used to, on the black box, I used to watch Sex and the City. So I have a very, very, steep, rich history with Sex and the City. I mean, I probably watched the show. I'm not a scripted TV person. I've always loved reality television, but there's a few scripted shows that I actually do watch, and Sex and the City was one of them. I probably have watched it more than Vanderpump Rules. I've probably done 5 or 6 rewatches over the course of my life of the whole series, seasons 1 through 6. And it's just, I love it. I just love it. And definitely as I age and as, I get more mature and I get more, I get more into dating and more and all that stuff as the older I got, I definitely had a newfound respect for them. And I used to love Carrie. I fucking hate her. She's the worst. She's the fucking worst. But we'll get into that. All right, guys, the time has come. Let's roast the fuck out of And Just Like That, because it just needs to happen. I mean, I just watched all 2 seasons over the course of 24 hours. And there's a lot to talk about. I mean, there's just a fucking lot. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, I've already said this before. Going back and rewatching Sex and the City and the two movies, I mean, the two movies don't really showcase it that much, but when you really watch the series, especially with an adult brain, Carrie is just the fucking worst. She's the worst. Go back to the whole big Aiden affair of season 3 and how she is acting towards Natasha, who made a cameo in season 1 of And Just Like That. But it's like, Carrie is just the worst. She's needy. She is very vapid. She just, I don't know. She like, and I get it. She's a writer, so she's an artist. So she has that crazy artist quality to her. But it's like, girl, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. It's just in this show, there's so many examples. Like I was watching it where she faked getting COVID because she didn't want to do her audiobook, but she wouldn't just say, "Hey, I'm having a hard time with this." She literally faked COVID. I'm like, once again, you're the worst. And then the whole Natasha thing. So going back to season 3, this is a history of Carrie Bradshaw and Big. So in season 3, Big moved on, left Carrie in New York to go to Paris or London, and while he was there, met Natasha, who is just like a yuppie, waspy, like Upper West Side lady, and I believe she worked in fashion, and they fell in love at like a Paris bistro, and it was in the Times, and so they get married, and Carrie just is like, she's very withholding, and she speaks in like complex puzzles, which like, just as someone who is a guy and who dates men do not have the brain capacity to figure out these complicated puzzles that women do. I'm just saying it. And it just works better when you keep it simple. Just please. And Carrie has not figured that out. So she's like speaking in like quoting like a movie with what's her face, the real crazy one, the singer who everyone oh god, what the fuck is her name? Barbara Streisand, quoting the Barbara Streisand movie, The Way We Were to Big. Big's never fucking seen that. What he does when he's home, he smokes a cigar and he listens to 60s jazz music and 70s rock and roll, because that's who Big was. He's not fucking watching a rom-com starring that nut job Barbara Streisand. So I'm just saying that right off the bat, Carrie. You're a little tone deaf with a lot of it. And so Big just married and fell in love or I guess fell in love with Natasha, but he always was romantic. He always had a thing for Carrie. And also Big's just the fucking worst. Like he's just awful. Yeah, he has money, but he's always been the worst. He's always been the worst. I do like him though. I'm glad they got together at the end, but he really is the worst. And I am a Team Aiden person, so I am happy that Aiden came back in season 2. But like, still, I'm just like, Big, like, go somewhere. Like, you be more truthful about your feelings for Carrie because you married this chick. And then they started having a fucking affair while Carrie was dating Aiden. And they're fucking in like all these nice hotels. And then they go to a cheap hotel where they run into fucking Charlotte, Miss, goody two-shoes of the 4 group. And then and then a Japanese businessman thinks Carrie's a hooker. So then what do? They go back to Big's apartment while Natasha's in the Hamptons. And she comes home early from the jitney and walks in on Carrie in the apartment eating her leftover Chinese food. And then Natasha follows her down the stairs, falls and busts her lip and her tooth open. And Carrie has to take her to the fucking hospital. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is like... And then the whole time is also because Natasha comes back, because Carrie, what happened was in Just Like That, Big left Natasha like $1 million in his will. And Natasha is like, she wants nothing to do with Carrie. I mean, Carrie was the other woman. She was the mistress. She ruined the marriage. And Natasha doesn't owe Carrie anything. It's bullshit. Carrie can't get that through her fucking head. And so, in Just Like That, and then like towards the end of season 1, she's trying to Facebook follow her. Natasha blocks her. She emails her, doesn't get that. Then she stalks her at her fucking office on the Upper West Side, and it's so cringy. And then Carrie fucking runs into her peeing in a coffee shop, and then it's like, Carrie, stop. Like, it's just nuts. And it's like, Carrie, you don't realize that you're the fucking villain in Natasha's storyline. Like, do you not have that self-awareness? Like, you're not the right person in this. Like, what you want doesn't matter because you fucked up. And Natasha does not want to be around you. She doesn't like you. She doesn't owe you anything. So stop being crazy. And also during that episode, Carrie was like walking around Manhattan all hours of the day and night in like 8-inch heels. And it's like, girl, come on. It's just, she's the fucking worst. And then segueing off of that, because this is a made up show, I'm just going to say this too, just about Sex and the City and Just Like That. This world is fake. People think this world is real. And I cannot tell you how many fucking bozo losers, women and gays, they always have, I'm going to move to New York and I'm going to live that Sex and the City life. Well, it doesn't fucking exist. It doesn't. You know, in Sex and the City, Carrie's paying $700 for a rent-controlled brownstone on West 47th Street. Like, what? And that was in like 2001. So it's like, that's not happening now. You know, it's like, and then she's like moving apartments constantly. This whole world it's like fantasy, like Game of Thrones or like Lord of the Rings. Like, it literally is such fantasy. And I think people forget that. Yes, it takes place in New York City. Yes, it's a real place it takes place in. These are not real people. They're actors playing that. It's Sarah Jessica Parker playing Carrie Bradshaw. But the level of people that think this show is real life, it makes me question just how intelligent people are, because it just pisses me off. Like, you know, Carrie literally spent probably $140,000 on her outfit as a weekly columnist in a like D-list newspaper. So in New York, she going out partying, going to buying expensive outfits, expensive shoes, going to expensive dinners, all that stuff. So cha-ching, 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 you know, and it's like, this isn't a real world. This isn't a realistic world. And then in Just Like That, because Big died and Big had money, all of a sudden it's like, I keep counting it. I'm like, you have such disposable income. And it's like, girl, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's not real life. It's not real life. And then to kind of like bring it back to like, and Just Like That, how much fucking like green screen sets are they using? Like, when Carrie bought that skyrise apartment with all the sun, that was clearly a set with a bunch of green screens, and it was so fake. It's like, it's AI hell. Like, it's weird. Like, I've always said, like, Vanderpump Rules is kind of hetero hell. This is like AI hell because it's not real life. It's not. And it's like, this is the other thing that I'm like, is no one else getting how fake this fucking show is? Yeah, they show them walking down, you know, Madison Avenue and Broadway and all the streets and in Houston and all that stuff. But like, it's not real. Like, it's just like, I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, this is so fucking fake. Every time they're in a fucking car, it's clearly the lighting's off and it's a green screen. Probably the most egregious example of that is when Kim Cattrall did her little Samantha cameo, because she was in the back of the car, and you look at that and you're like, that is fake. That is a fake fucking screen. This is a set. And then I watched, because of the other thing, I was so high last night, I watched the And Just Like That documentary. And then you see the fucking Paris scene where Carrie is dumping Big's ashes into the fucking river, into the Seine River over their like bridge where they fell in love at the end of season 6 of Sex and the City. Like, you realize that was a set too, and that was fake. And it's like, the whole thing, it's like, what world is it? Are people like the old series it felt more real, like Sex and the City felt more real. And Just Like That, I'm like, it's like a cartoon to me. It really is like a fucking cartoon, because it's so bad. It's like, I can't, and it's so fucking forced. The diversity, the inclusion. I'm so happy that we're seeing it, but for fuck's sake, does it feel forced? And like, I'm saying that as a gay drag queen, okay? I'm saying that as that. It's just like, just down to like, I swear to God, I'm like literally, I wanted to keep a check mark. Like, okay, let's get the list of all the diverse people that you might come across in New York City. Oh yeah, we got an Indian person now. We have a disabled person in a wheelchair. We have 2 different black people. We have more that, one has braids and one wears a wig. Like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Like, like, oh, you got a non-binary person. You got a in-bow or whatever, that bald non-binary person that Che Diaz, I'll get into Che Diaz because I got a lot to say about that bitch. Is something I've never even heard of. And it's like, I'm a gay person. I know, like, I'm LGBTQIA or whatever the fuck it is now. And it's like, it's so forced. And it's like, you can almost like make a check mark. But the one thing that did crack me up, and it's like, they still threw shade at the fat girl. Like when Charlotte goes back to the art gallery and is self-conscious about the dress and how she looks, and then she walks in and sees that the gallery manager is overweight and fat, instantly she feels better. And I was like, and some things in this universe just never change. Truly never change, as fucked up as that is. It's just, I don't even know. It just, that just gave me a good little chuckle. So, guys, with that, I'm about 20 minutes in. I'm going to put the ad break in here. I will be right back.
All right, ad break. I got to pay for all this damn coffee I'm drinking and tea I'm spilling.
What's up, art lovers? It's me, Zenobia Darling. Did you know I'm more than just a drag rock star? I'm also a very accomplished painter, photographer, and you can check it all out on ZenobiaDarlingCreative.com. Sponsored by the Harford County Cultural Arts Board, my blog, #RockstarLife, the arts blog. It explores all my creativity right when it crashes into local culture. Explore my neo-expressionistic fine art, my editorialized goth photography, and this is the best part, you can buy my original paintings and you can spruce up your boring-ass walls, because every wall needs some glittering Zenobia Darling on them. So go check out Zenobia Darling Creative. The link is in the episode description. Ooh, what's up, Glamazons? It's Zenobia Darling, and my rock stardness doesn't just happen, right? It's crafted to perfection at Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Let me spill my secret. Abby, my badass stylist, is the mastermind behind my iconic glittering blonde mohawk. Whether you want to spike it up, smooth it out, dye it a killer shade, or just add that extra edge to your hair, the crew at Odyssey have the magic to make you feel like the superstar you truly are. And it's not just about hair. They keep my nails sharp, my skin polished, and every visit is an absolute blast. And here's the best part, my darlings. Odyssey isn't just about looking fierce. It is a safe space where us LGBT folks can feel right at home, shining as our truest selves. So if you're ready to live your own #Rockstar life and embrace your creative spirit, get yourself to Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Tell them Zenobia sent you and show the world how fabulous us rock stars look. And you never know, you might run into yours truly. The link to book your visit to unlock your fabulosity is in the episode description. Hey there, ghost-loving rebels. It's Zenobia Darling, your paranormal punk rock queen. We premiered my newest art film, Ethereal Anarchy, Zenobia Darling's Haunted Revolution, on November 1st with my opening reception of my immersive art exhibition, The Paranormal Realm Beyond the Lore. Let me tell you, Part 1 of this film captured one of the most profound paranormal experiences I've ever had, and it was met with roaring applause and accolades. And yes, we filmed it in true punk rock fashion to bring you even more content. But Huns, the revolution is just getting started, and we need you to bring part 2 to life. We have so much more content from part 1 that we want to include, plus we're actively filming for part 2. So we're pushing paranormal storytelling to the edge in true aspirational punk rock fashion. Your support fuels every haunting moment of this journey. From ghost hunting gear to fair crew pay, every dollar you contribute keeps things spooky and queer just the way it should be. Join the Haunted Revolution. You can find the link to our GoFundMe in the episode description and help us raise the dead and the funds. All right, guys, and I'm back. So let's get back into this snow day roast of And Just Like That, because Jesus Christ. Already I've been talking for about 15 minutes on this fucking shit. I mean, I'm telling you, it just like, it opened my brain. And let's see, so my best friend Davey, I was helping him because he's moving into a new house. So I was helping him like kind of get it together. And we just were hanging out this weekend and we stopped by the dispensary and he got me, what is it? It's 2 pre-rolls. It's alien mints. So I know. So, I got the aliens coming. My breath is minty fresh with a touch of cannabis smoke in it. And, well, it's a hybrid. It's 31% THC. So, after 3 hits of it, I was in the AI fakeness of And Just Like That. And I was engrossed in the characters. And I mean, I will say though, there is a comfort to it. The romance, the romanticism of it, the romanticism of New York City, the romanticism of love and dating and romance and sex and like, I'll be honest with you, like, I mean, I'm very affected by that from watching Sex and the City all my life. I mean, I just want a guy to take me to Paris. That's all I do. And we fall in love walking along the Champs-Elysees and we see the Eiffel Tower, La Tour Eiffel. I took 5 years of French in high school, so I can kind of speak the language. And, and see Arc de Triomphe and La Défense and go to all the arrondissements around Paris and see the graffiti and fall in love. And then we can sit at a French cafe and drink espresso, smoking French cigarettes and judging people like French people do. Like that idea is in my brain, and it's, I thank Carrie Bradshaw for that, Well, I'm wearing like haute couture and like, just being like a fashionable goth gay kid in Paris. Like, that idea is in my fucking brain because of this show. So, that's not lost on me. But also I recognize that it's fake and that's not real life. I'm not one of those losers I talked about before. Like, I can remember, I'm just going to move to New York and I just want to live in the Lower East Side and just like, go out to clubs and just write a column in a book and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I have a lot of similarities with Carrie. I am a writer. I have an arts blog. I like stuff like that. But like at the same time, like, it's not real life. It's not fucking real life, So I don't know. There's just a lot like that. It brings up a lot in me and it just like, let's just make fun of it all. So next up, probably one of my other favorite characters from Sex and the City. So as I said before, I'm a diehard Samantha person. I fucking loved Miranda. I loved Miranda. Sarcastic, kind of a nerd, kind of a bit of like, she's had sex, but she also was kind of naive and kind of, I don't know. I liked her a lot. I did. And she was sarcastic, kind of negative, but it was refreshing to me. Like she really symbolized to me like a cynical New Yorker, which I just identify with. I liked her. I loved her red hair. I loved Miranda like seasons 1 through like 4, maybe 5 on Sex and the City. Like I love Miranda. When she got with Steve, I fucking love Steve. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Steve. But I noticed when she started getting with Steve, she was morphing and changing. And it was like, but she still had that cynical New Yorker to her. Well, and in Just Like That, I don't know who the fuck this character is. I mean, this is not the Miranda from Sex and the City at all. It's like, there's still touches of her cynicism, but truly, like, the fact that she's a lesbian now, like, I understand that Cynthia Nixon, who plays her, is a lesbian, and that's all cool. But like, Miranda was never a lesbian. And there was even an episode of Sex and the City early on where her law firm thought she was a lesbian and set her up with a chick. And she didn't, like, she kissed her, but then she's like, nope, still straight. And it just was very weird. And also that was shot back in like 1999, or 98. So there is that context with it. But at the same time, it's like, if you're a diehard Sex and the City person, you know that Miranda has been down that road before and that she's not. So it's almost like she's having a midlife crisis. Miss Alcoholic drinking Tito's in Carrie's apartment with her non-binary lover, Che, who I'm going to get into her in a minute, or them in a minute. God, there I fucking go. But I'm going to go into Che because, God, they kind of offended me. So I'm just going to say that. But But with Miranda, it's like, I thought you did this. So who is this person? Who is this needy person? Like, she was a top billed lawyer at a law firm for much of the season. She also graduated top in her class from Harvard Law School. And this person that is on there now, I just don't recognize the character. Yes, it's Cynthia Nixon. It's still the same person, but I'm like, can we get more of the real Miranda in? Like, and I kind of saw more of it towards the end of season 2 of Just Like That, but it's a totally different character. And I understand people grow and change in life, but like, for fuck's sake, bring Miranda back. I want old school Miranda. Like, like Charlotte's pretty much the same person. And so is Carrie. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, like I know these characters and they're pretty much the same. Miranda, it's just like, girl, go back and watch the old reruns of it and then come back, because I don't know who the fuck this is. I really don't. And then let's just get into Che, because I just have to say it, as a stand-up comic, as a podcaster, as a rainbow person, Che offends me. They really do. They really offend me. I mean, I love the actress or the actor that play, and I know I'm like misgendering and being horrible, but again, I've smoked alien mints and I'm also 33, so I'm trying. But Che just offends me. Like that. I mean, I like the actor that plays Che, but Che, you're not a fucking stand-up comic. Like I gotta do a tight 10. Bitch, no you don't. Like, your comedy is really, it's kind of PC, like commercialized comedy, and it's like you don't go there. Like I talked about the episode that I have coming up Thursday is my New Year's espresso shot, because guys, you'll hear it in there. I got sick over Christmas and took off everything, and so I didn't do the espresso shot, but I did it. It's coming out this Thursday, where I talk about Whitney Cummings' roast on CNN. And it's like, that is true stand-up comedy. And that's the type of comedy that I feel like we need in society right now, and that Che Diaz is not fucking doing, like, at all. I mean, it's just like, it's very self-deprecating, which I like, but it just doesn't go there. And then Che says things like, I gotta do a tight 10. Oh, it was funny. And then they showed a flashback with Che in a wig when they were doing their like female, I'm fucking all these men comedy. And it's just like, it's not cute. And it's like, you fucking roasted Miranda while she was sitting right there with Carrie and Aiden in the club. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't see the audience? Yeah, that was kind of an edgy set, but at the same time, know your fucking audience, okay? When I go on stage to do stand-up, I like it, the lights blind in the audience, but at the same time, I'm in the club, I'm seeing who's in the audience. That's how you do stand-up, and it's like shit like that where I'm like, you're fucking sloppy. And then the fucking weed smoking, I mean, right out of the gate, Che, who is in a Zara jacket that I have. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my cousin for Christmas because she really wanted it and she rocked it. And I mean, I wore it. I mean, I got more muscular, so it really didn't fit anymore, so I gave it to her. But it's like a black Zara jacket with like white like flowers on it. And I was watching it, I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I got the same jacket as fucking Che Diaz and Just Like That. And then I'm watching Che's style, and I'm like, as a goth punk kid and definitely an East Coast, East Coaster like I am in Baltimore, I'm just like, I really like Che's style. The bitch stole my look. Oh my God, I like it. I mean, I have a mohawk and I'm blonde, but like, I'm liking a lot of the fashion that they're wearing this season. So, that's not lost on me. And I probably hate Che because she probably does, or I probably hate Che the most because they do remind me of myself, but that's beside the point. We're not talking about me right now. But it's just, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, fuck's sake. And then the level of weed smoking that Che does, it like rivals my mother's. Like we all know my mom loves her 420. I mean, I do too. But like you're literally in a Manhattan office building after recording your podcast and you light up a fucking bowl of weed in an elevator and take a hit. Like, are you that much of a pothead? I understand, weed's legal now. Like, you could do it. But, like, I treat weed smoking the same as, like, cigarette smoking. Like, you don't do it in public anymore. You don't do it in confined spaces like a fucking elevator. Like, it was shit like that where I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I appreciate it because Sex and the City, they never shied away from them drinking, from them doing drugs. Carrie and the girls have smoked weed many times on the show. There's a famous episode where Berger breaks up with Carrie on a Post-it note. So they all go out and Carrie's like, I'm going to get high, gets weed from some rando on the street, smokes it, and then gets caught by the cops. And there's that scene. There's the one where Carrie dated a guy who owned the comic book store who still lived with his mother, and the mother was away. So Carrie and the guy was sitting on the balcony smoking a blunt, and the mom comes home, and then it was that moment. So Carrie steals the weed and goes back. So then Miranda and Samantha come over and they smoke the pot together. So weed has been in this world a lot. And it's like, the level of weed smoking at a Che, though, is a little pushing it for me. It really is. I mean, you literally, and I could see having like a vape, like having a THC vape is one thing, but to sit there and literally have a glass bowl and you light it and take a hit of it in a fucking elevator in an office building in downtown Manhattan or uptown Manhattan is just so asinine to me. It's like, what, like, hun, you gotta stop. That's not, I don't know. It's like, when you're writing a comedy set in your apartment, and you're smoking a pre-roll, that's one thing. I don't mind seeing that because that's what I do. But I'm not at my day job. Okay, I'm not at my day job with a glass bowl of pot, smoking it in my office. Hello, there's smoke. Like, I mean, it's one thing if you have a vape and you sneak the vape if you go to the bathroom or something, but that's, it's like, people do what they gotta do, but I'm just saying that really just kind of struck me weird. And it's, I don't know. I could go on on Che forever. And it's just the way Che, like, treats Miranda is fucked up. And it's another thing where I'm like, Miranda, what are we doing? Go back to Steve. Steve's a good guy. I mean, Steve has always been a good guy. I love Steve. And it's like, come on, Miranda. That's what you're going to be with? That? Although I will say, Che is kind of hot, though. I mean, they are. I think they're hot to me. I like the outfits. Like, that's the thing. It's just like, I'm seeing a lot of myself in them. So that's part of it. But I don't know. And then then I'm sitting there watching it. The fucking celebrity cameos that are happening on Just Like That. We have fucking Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing on Bravo is showing up with Seema, who, let's get into Seema. Okay. I will say, though, I fucking love Seema. Still not Kim Cattrall, still not Samantha Jones, but I appreciate it. I think Seema brings a good energy and a good groundingness to the thing. And I love the fact that Seema's not afraid to smoke. And I love the fact that they have Carrie smoking and they're not shying away from smoking cigarettes. And, I love that shit. I love seeing people smoke on camera. I talked about that a lot before, but so Seema's there, high-powered realtor, fucking amazing, got her Birkin bag stolen in an episode. I mean, she's bringing it. Like, she's really bringing it. And I like that she is really showing Carrie how fucking awful of a person Carrie is. Again, I've said this before. Carrie's the fucking worst. She is the goddamn worst. And I appreciate Seema calling it out. And they're still friends, though. And I like that. And she does it in a way that I feel like is very emotionally intelligent and that is very respectful. And she's kind of like, Carrie, stop. I need space. And I appreciate it. But Ryan Serhant appeared on there. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So there is a Bravo crossover. But that's one of my ending notes. So I will get into that in a minute. But another celebrity cameo was Drew Barrymore. So I cannot stand Drew Barrymore. I mean, I can't. She's too earnest on her talk show. Be a fucking actor. Just like, there's something about Drew I don't like. And Drew comes on there, fucking Mario Cantone, who is Anthony, with that Italian guy with the big, huge dick. And I will say, I fucking love having Anthony back. I love Anthony. I love Stanford too, but Anthony was always my favorite gay. And I'm happy that he's back. And that he has that Hot Guys baking company where he delivers local bread with hot guys with it. And it's like, so Anthony goes on the Drew Barrymore show and fucking Drew Barrymore was there. So I'm like, what is this? Like, truly, what is this? And you get Tony Danza. Like, what? It's just so crazy to me. It's just so fucking crazy, some of these things. But the Ryan Serhant one really got me. Really fucking got me because I was like, I understand they're trying to put Seema on that like aspirational real estate mogul level like that. But it's like, come the fuck on. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to end it with this because there was a Bravo crossover. What I want out of And Just Like That season 3, because I saw where they already filmed it. I watched a thing where apparently Carrie and Aiden, who I love Aiden. I was always team Aiden. I think Carrie treated him so poorly. So I love that Aiden's back. I fucking love it. I love that they're working it out. I love that they're dating again because they just were good together. And, and also Aiden was in the second Sex and the City movie and they ran into each other in Abu Dhabi, which I'm like, because Sex and the City 2 was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So, I mean, honestly, and just like that, following that, I mean, it really doesn't have a good track record. But, I'm happy that Aiden is there. Like, I'm generally very happy that Aiden is back and Carrie's dating and that now that Big has died, which, R.I.P. to Mr. Big. And also they don't show Chris Noth anymore because apparently he had a sexual assault allegation against him. So I don't know. I didn't look into it, but apparently that's what happened. Where was I? Oh my God, I just lost my train. Sorry, just a fucking car just passed by and I'm like, a plow truck. God, where the fuck was I? Oh, I was talking about, okay, so what I want for season 3, because I saw where they were filming and apparently Carrie and Aiden get into an argument about trust at a cafe on the street that some paparazzi got. So I was watching that. But for season 3, you already had Ryan Serhant come on there. You had Carrie mention the Real Housewives and Bethany Frankel several times in this world. Can we just fucking have a legacy RHONY crossover? Like, to get in some of the lore, Candace Bushnell, who wrote Sex and the City, made an appearance on Real Housewives of New York City. And Dorinda famously was like bitching about Luann or Sonia to her. And Dorinda was drunk and was like, you know what, Candace? You're going to ask me how I am? I'm not well, bitch. Like, that was the Candace Bushnell, the writer of Sex and the City, who the whole thing is based off of. So can we just have a full RHONY crossover? Like, can we have Dorinda there? Because this is all famous folklore, but Dorinda is the inspiration for, I think, Shoes and Sharon. So if you go back and watch Sex and the City, there's a luxury cashmere person who's back and forth to London who like is with her husband who yells at her and she yells back, and allegedly that is based off Dorinda. So can we have fucking Dorinda Medley come on and Just Like That? I mean, have her do a brunch, have her get drunk. I want to hear her tell off somebody. You know what, Miranda? You're a fucking bitch. You don't know who you are. What happened to you? Get a fucking clue. Like, I just want to see Dorinda go off. And also, with that Samantha-sized hole that's in the show, Seema's kind of filling it, but I mean, no one will ever be Samantha Jones, except Countess Luann. I mean, Luann famously said it. Oh, am I the Kim Cattrall of the family? Like, can we have Countess Luann come on there, she can fuck a few men, show up to brunch, be fucking fabulous, be she. I'm the Countess. Can we have that? Can we have that? I mean, seriously, I want Real Housewives of New York City, the legacy cast, to kind of just make an appearance on this world, because I think it'd be really funny. I always had dreams, like if I was ever going to like to cast or to do like fan fiction of what the third movie would be like before they announce it, just like that, I would have had Charlotte be a Real Housewives of New York City. I would have had her be one because it's like, I want to bring this world in. Like, I would love to have Bethany Frankel make a cameo. Or, oh my God, can you imagine fucking Ramona? You know what, Carrie? I'm really sorry that Big died, but I went through trauma as a child too. Like, can you just see Ramona saying that to her? Like, it's just, I just want that word, because it's like, you know, it's fucking made up. You can bring these characters. It'll also ground it in some real life. And then can we shoot confessionals? Because allegedly for season 3, what they're doing is Carrie's writing a new book. So she's going to have the voiceovers back, like Sex and the City, because it wasn't on it just like that. And I'm like, yes. And can we have confessionals? And can it be kind of like a docu-series style, like mockumentary, like Modern Family or The Office, and give it more of that reality show vibe? Because I would fucking, seeing Carrie Bradshaw and Charlotte in like that Real Housewives world would be fucking fantastic. And bring in Dorinda. In fact, bring them all in. I would love to see Dorinda. Kelly Ben Simone would be fucking amazing in that. Ramona, Sonia. I mean, like, it's not as like, there was something about, like, Samantha Jones was like really classy about how slutty she was and just how sexually progressive she was. And Sonia tries to be that, and it just comes out like a fucking hot mess train wreck. So can we bring that back in? I think that would be really exciting. So with all that said, guys, happy snow day. It's we're actually having a lull in the snow right now. I'm actually get ready to go out and shovel some. And then there's supposed to be more snow tonight. But, you know, happy snow day. I hope I'm off work tomorrow, but we will see. We will see if that happens. Ooh. All right, guys. So it's about 4 hours since I last recorded that espresso shot on And Just Like That. And I'm in the middle of editing the episode together, and I was watching an episode back. I was actually watching 2 episodes back because there's an episode in there where there's like a bomb cyclone. I think the episode's actually called Bomb Cyclone, where there's like a blizzard in New York City, and they had him in the snow. And I was like, that would be good cover art for this episode. So I was rewatching it with my camera, taking pictures. You'll see the cover art. I haven't decided which one I will choose, but it's either going to be Carrie walking in the snow, the one new girl walking in the snow. I got a really bad picture of Che Diaz, which I think would be perfect for it. I got Charlotte walking in the damn snow too, to go buy her daughter, who is, I think, 16 or 17, condoms because she wants to go fuck her man in his luxury townhouse, which looks like Sonia Morgan's townhouse. I'm just going to say that. So Charlotte goes to like 5 different drugstores that are closed to buy her fucking 17-year-old daughter condoms. And to quote Lily, the daughter, she goes, "Mom, I know you're trying to be sex positive, but you're being sex annoying." And that's how I feel about the whole thing. But I was watching it and I was like, how did I miss all this bullshit that was there? So I'm coming right back to Mike. I did smoke another pre-roll, so I'm probably as high as Che Diaz is in real life. And there was just a lot more shit that I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And also, because I ended it on Bravo bitching, Seema kept delivering Bravo shade after Bravo shade. And I was like, you know what? I got to talk about it. I'm just going to go right to Mike again. So I made myself some rooibos, taking a vape hit. Hold on. And let's just die. It's only going to be like another 10 minutes. But like, if you're listening this far into it, I love you. But you're in for another treat because the show is so fake. It's fucking fantasy, like Rick and Morty or like Game of Thrones. Like, it's all fake. It's all AI. It's just, these people don't live in the real world. I mean, it's based in the real world, New York City. It's fucking not the real world. Like, I mean, yeah, we have bomb cyclones. Yeah, it's snowing. But like, the fucking snow event they were doing, I don't even know. I just was watching it and I said, this is some bullshit. So right off the bat, I mean, I will say, I missed this actually in my previous one, but have you guys noticed the fucking cell phones that they use? So They in this episode, Carrie and Seema go to the Apple store. So I think there is Apple product placement because they are actually using iPhones. And it looks like they're using like the iPhone iMessage like interface on their iPhones to like text and stuff. But for season 1, did you catch the phones? It's a weird hybrid of a BlackBerry, like from like 15 years ago. I had a BlackBerry. I love a BlackBerry. But it has like a keypad with buttons with like an iPhone screen. I actually would really like to have that cell phone because I miss my BlackBerry. But like, it just goes to prove how fake they are. And, you know, Carrie's still using her damn MacBook with a super drive hardware still attached to it. Like, I mean, they haven't made that in what, like 10 fucking years? It's ridiculous. So I was like watching it, and Carrie's going to speak at WidowCon, as they're calling it, and you get Rachel Dratch making a cameo appearance, and I'm pretty sure Rachel Dratch was in the original. No, that was Molly Shannon as the literary agent. I don't remember Rachel Dratch actually being in Sex and the City, but I could be wrong. But Rachel Dratch makes an appearance as the like spearhead of this WidowCon where a bunch of grieving women come. So Carrie drags a depressed Che there, which is it's just such bullshit. It's just such bullshit. And then there's a fucking blizzard out. Like, how fitting is that? How fitting is it? We have a snow day, and that's happening. But I kept reading it, and like, they're going to WidowCon, and Carrie's book, Loved and Lost, whatever the fuck it's called, about the whole big death. Basically, in that world, Sex and the City is like Carrie's book series. So I believe that, and you know, the series was her first book, and then, you know, there was Manhattan, and then there was I Do I, which was probably the first movie. Well, the first season of Just Like That is Love and Lost, her newest memoir. And I just, to keep it with the Bravo universe, it's given me a lot of Carole Radziwill vibes. So Carole Radziwill, Real House of New York City, she was married to John F. Kennedy Jr.'s best friend or cousin or something like that. And I mean, and also like she was married. No, it was his mom was Lee Radziwill, who was famous from Feud, Capote versus the Swans. And she was sisters to Jackie Kennedy, who I fucking love Jackie Kennedy. I mean, I love that woman. She had style, grace, and she just kept it classy with all the bullshit happening. And I'm sitting there reading it. I'm listening to it like with my camera, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's literally taking Carole Radziwill's life and giving it to Carrie Bradshaw. Like, it's giving me such What Remains vibe. So can we have Carole Radziwill come on? I would be down for that. I really would. And then Carrie keeps wearing coveralls. Like, she's wearing coveralls. There was another scene where she was wearing, like, it looked like a, like, lab coat with a bunch of paint on it. I'm like, you're not a fucking painter. Like, I have clothes. I wear clothes with paint on them because I'm a painter and I paint in my clothes. I don't have like, I mean, I have paint clothes, quote unquote, but I also will just paint normally. And so there's normally going to be some paint on my clothes and some glitter. This thing looked like it was, I mean, you could tell it was probably like, you know what it reminds me of? On Zoolander, when the first Zoolander movie, his character, Jacoby Mugatu, has that derelict campaign, and it's inspired by the homeless and the vagrants, and it's all like homeless fashion. That's what it's giving me. And I'm like, is this what fashion come to? She's wearing what looks like, you know, a Carhartt coveralls with a belt with some like 8-inch Manolo Blahnik boots or like Jimmy Choo sparkling boots. And I'm like, what is this, Carrie? It's so bad. It's just so fucking bad. Like, Carrie in the original, they had Pat Field as the costume designer. Pat Field is a drag legend. She was a costume designer. She did stuff for The Devil Wears Prada, famous red hair. She comes from the club kid drag world of New York City. So when she was dressing Carrie, it was very fashionable, and there was a camp quality to it, but the camp read as high fashion. I don't know what the fuck's happening in Just Like That, because that camp quality is gone, and it's just like garbage. I know fashion's in a very weird spot right now, but they're missing the mark. And it just, once again, you know, you're paying She probably paid a couple $1,000s for that coverall set they probably got at the Tractor Supply store and put a bunch of paint on it. Dude, I can make that for like $30, you know? Like, and you're out here wearing it, and you look like shit, Carrie. The thing about Carrie, she would mix thrift store finds. She would, bargain bin. There was a Century 21 was a show that was, not a store that she would famously go to, like thrift stores, stuff like that, and mix it with high-end stuff. And there's an art to it. They're just missing the mark. There's no art to it. It's disgusting to me. And it's just like, then the fucking product placement of it. You got Apple, you got Nobu, you got like all, the whole thing's crazy. But I'm going to end it with this because I had to do it. SEMA, like, I swear to God, it's like sometimes, like, I'm not religious, but I always say their spirit world's there, and they always guide me with my creativity. And sometimes when things align, there's just things align. And I was looking for that, and then I swear to God, every other line out of SEMA, she was shading Bravo. It was amazing. So right off the bat, they're at the Apple store because Carrie was doing this awful interview with a Sunday morning interview with an influencer that went off the rails, and her MacBook crashed. And so she had to go the MacBook. It was her MacBook with the fucking super drive in. But then they showed it later in the episodes, the same MacBook with the damn super drive attached to it. Like, are you kidding me? With it's like a CD-ROM disc drive in the fucking MacBook. Like, that hasn't been a thing in years. And then they're trying to say it's the new Mac. Fuck that. It's ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. And it's all a product placement for fucking Apple, because everyone knows Carrie Bradshaw. I'm an Apple person. I have a MacBook. I have an iMac. I have an iPad. I have an iPhone, AirPods. I have the works. But, it's just crazy. And the thing that SEMA said was, they're talking about getting a Hamptons house. And she was like, I don't want to do the Hamptons with my girlfriends. It's giving too much like Bravo reality show. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, these writers know. There's such a crossover between Bravo people and Sex and the City. There's a crossover. And I think that they're writing to us. They're writing to that audience. And I think SEMA shading it is really funny. And so I clocked it. But then, and I was like, maybe it's just a one-off, because she did shade Bethany Frankel in the first season, which I fucking loved. Then she comes back to it, and her and Carrie are talking about the Hamptons rental and like a scene later on in the episode. And fucking SEMA goes, well, I just want a guy with a nice Hamptons house south of the highway. And I was like, wait a minute. Once again, Ramona fucking Singer is in this show. We can all famous her. Bethany, I have a house south of the highway. South of the highway is preferred in Southampton. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fucking SEMA, like, it's just so transparent. It drives me fucking nuts, which is why I'm like, bringing in Legacy RHONY into and just like that would just be a match made in heaven. Like, for real. Can we have Luann on there fucking a 22-year-old and then talking about it at brunch with Carrie and Miranda and SEMA? Like, can we have that, please? Can we have Dorinda? Can we have Ramona? Can we have the more crossover? You have Ryan. It's crazy to me. It's fucking crazy. And I will say, there's a lot of penises on it. I've seen a lot of dicks. I really enjoy that. I saw Harry's dick. Of course, that was a fake dick, but Charlotte was about to blow him. Then we saw that hot guy's dick with the writer downstairs. That's like kind of Carrie-esque, the jewelry designer. I think her name's like Alicia or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, but it's just, I don't even know. This show is so fucking bad. I hope you guys get warmed up with this roast of And Just Like That and On This Snow Day. And with that, guys, this is for real. I bid you farewell. I will be back Thursday with an amazing espresso shot of New Year's Eve. And I'll be back in a few weeks with some good coffee breaks. So peace out. Bye, guys.